Hello everyone, this is Rex Red. I am back with an awesome tutorial today. We are going to pick up where, we're going to work on a particular thing. It's the Viking village, and it's too big to fit in your rendering queue. Okay, so what I'm going to do, this is called Camera Cutaway, okay, and it's a program that is that I think is going to be very helpful in fixing this problem, but I don't know. And so the way we find out is by testing it and seeing how this works. This Camera Cutaway is a product that I absolutely recommend using because it does help. Okay, so this is in utilities. I'm going to add this. How do I do this? We're going to just add this to favorites. Okay, why not? And for now, okay, so maybe I can find it quickly that way. It's right here. So now we're going to go to default. We're going to load the Viking village. Now I have two NVIDIA 3090s, and they are in SLI mode, which means they have pooled their memory together. So I believe if I add this Viking village, okay, so actually called the Viking Camp. Everybody's been calling it the Viking Village, but it's the Viking Camp. Maybe it's sold as the Viking Village, but it's in the smart content, it's called Viking Camp. So when we go into this environment, so we click Set, and we add this Viking Camp. Welcome, welcome, Angus. Welcome. So welcome. I hope you are doing well. So we are going to be working with a Viking Camp, and the problem with this Viking Camp is it doesn't, it's too large for, now it takes a moment for it's, I couldn't even at times get it to even show up in Iray, but this is, I have one 3090, two 3090s pooled together. So it should, I should be able to render this in, now if I give it a moment here, okay, my keyboard is probably not in a good spot right now, so I'm going to move my keyboard right down here. I think is probably a better spot. Okay, now let's go back to here and see what's happening. See, this doesn't look like it even wants to go to do Iray, but I have a feeling it will, because all I have in here is this Viking village, and eventually I think it will show up in Iray. Now if we go into the render settings, optimization, and we go into memory, it might even work better. I think it will. But let's see now. What we're going to try to do is take this Viking village. Now, we will go into come on, show me the Viking village. This is going to take a while for my computer to load these textures into Iray. So let's go into texture shaded, and let's also go into create. Come on. Respond computer. Now, the thing is I've had this computer, I've had a bunch of stuff already loaded, so I may actually have some orphans sitting in my, which a nice restart of my computer would probably clear that out. But we're going to take and go on with this. All right. So as soon as Control 9, come on, take us to texture shaded. Viking Camp. This is a really beautiful Viking camp. And so what we're going to try to do is isolate the camera. And then I'm going to use these things called cutouts. Okay, now we're in this is in texture shaded mode. Okay, let's come up a little higher. This is texture shaded mode. Now, a quick way to zoom out on your scene is you click the Viking Camp, and what I'm going to do is just put a sphere in the middle of our world so I can come back. Okay, accept. That will place that sphere right down here. So now if I click on this Viking Camp and I click on this, it will take me out and show me the whole world, okay? And this is a pretty large world. And this is a little waterway. And it looks like there's a little river that goes down through. This is what kind of threw me off because I saw water within the scene. And I thought it was this water, but it's actually a little river that goes down through. Okay, so, and this little square is our little center. And if I were to put a human in here, they would be like a tiny speck here. So this is how large this world is. So it's pretty cool. Now, if I click on the sphere and click on this little button, it'll take me back to the center of my world here. And, okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to find a vantage view, okay, which would be here. And now what we're going to do is try and cut away. Now it's too bad that I have to have the longhouse cut out. The longhouse seems to be the star of the show here. Okay, let's keep the longhouse in the picture. Let's see, why not just zoom out a little bit more? Okay, the more I zoom out, then the more I'm going to have objects in the scene, okay? So, all right. Now we're going to go here to Smart Content, and I'm going to go out of here, and I'm going to go back down to Utilities. And okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Render Settings, and I'm going to turn off one of my graphics cards, okay? So that I only have one working, okay? And now when I click now let's go to Render Settings here, which would be here, and go this. Let's go to like 4000. 4000. All right, that's 4000. Let's see if this renders with one graphics card. It's probably not gonna work with one graphics card. And that's what I'm kind of, because this has thousands of, it has 1,000 images that are wrapped around all these objects. 1,000, okay? 1,000 images that are wrapped around these objects. And these images are not just like little web pictures that you'd see in the corner of a page or something. These images are like, see, it won't render. See, it won't render. Okay, so now this is going to be a perfect test. We don't need the sphere in here anymore, so we can just get rid of that. Let's double check and make sure this doesn't render again with the sphere missing. And so just so that our test is accurate, no, it won't render. It just sits and gives us a blank screen. So now what we're going to try to do is use this cutaway. And what the cutaway does is a wall that everything beyond the wall, and it's like you can have like 3 walls so they you don't see it in the camera, but the cutaway cuts your scene away from what's behind you and what's on each side of you. So all you need in the scene is what you see in front of you, okay? So we're going to go to utilities. We're going to go to this cutaway utility, and we're going to place it in the scene. Where is it? Cut. Camera cutaway. All right, I think this is it. Scene cutaway, camera cutaway, scene cutaway, cutaway hide all. All right, so we're going to try the scene cutaway. Okay, alignment. We're going to go, okay, there's our cutaway. Why not try it this way? Accept. Now, there's our cutaway plane. Now, if we create a camera, new camera, and we'll copy our current perspective view. Okay, so this is our cutaway plane. Now, since we don't have our camera used here, now what I don't see is it's not cutting anything away. All right, what is it supposed to be cutting away? All right, it's supposed to, okay, maybe it has to cut away in Iray. Scene cutaway, camera cutaway. All right, let's delete this and try. It's been a while since I've used this. Let's look through our camera, and then use this. Go through our camera, and then use this camera cutaway script. Cutaway left, clip lights from left. All right, clip the lights. Why not? Right cutaway plane and clip the lights too. Bottom cutaway plane, top cutaway. We don't need to cut the bottom out, and we don't need to cut the top. We just want to cut right and left. And what about, it says optimize rendering time. Okay. Okay, I see left and right, but what about behind, bottom, top? What about front and back? Okay, I don't understand that. So let's accept this. Apparently, it cuts from behind and back. Let's see. Now, let's take a look at this from the perspective view. What I don't see is anything cut away. But apparently it is. So let's go to our camera view. Let's try to render this. This is going to be the test. If it actually starts to render, it's cutting something away. Now this doesn't look like it's, maybe it is. Okay, it's still trying to render. This could be major. I mean, just all of a sudden you put the camera in, you cut away whatever is not in the camera view. And if you animate this camera and move the camera around, it should still continue to cut away. The only time you're going to run into problems is if you zoom out on the whole scene. Then there's nothing to cut away. Okay, so it's still trying to render. It's going to render this with one graphics card. No, it's not. So something's wrong here. Where's my camera cutaways? Cutaway planes. Okay, left, right, top, and bottom. Okay, left. Okay, where's the right plane? Let's see, perspective view. Okay, I don't see the right plane. Okay, there's the right plane. Scene cutaway. Let's add this also. Z. All right, let's see where this other cutaway plane, where is it? Okay, there's another cutaway plane right there. We're going to turn this, rotate, Y rotate. No, that's not right. Edit, undo Y rotate. Okay. Y rotate. Okay, we're going to go Z rotate. No, that's not the right way. Edit. So it must be X. Yeah. Okay, let's scale this. Okay. Now what I'm seeing here, let's go back a little bit. Let's scale it X. No, okay, let's undo this X scale. Let's Z scale. Yeah, okay. Let's do that, and that should, okay. Let's see what we've got here. We need to cut this whole scene. So scale it Z. So it cuts everything. All right, we're going to cut all this stuff out. Where's our camera? Our camera's right in about here. So we're going to cut as much of this stuff as we can. Now let's take a look from our camera and make sure we don't have... Okay, it's not in front of the camera. Oops, now it is. Okay. Let's now go back to our perspective view and take a look at this. Now our right plane, let's scale that. Okay, scale. Z would take it this way. Okay, no. What would be X? Okay. What I don't see is it scaling, actually. I don't see them actually working. Because, okay, so maybe they are working, but they're just not. So now let's take a look from our camera view again. You see, I can't see that. So apparently it's working. So now let's go to our, well, I don't know for sure if it's working, but now let's scan around and find this other, that should be about here somewhere. And we're gonna left plane, scale it. Okay, here's our other plane. And there it is right there. Now, see this one. This one. Okay, let's scale that. What, Z? No, that's, okay, X maybe. Yeah, X. Let's make that really large. So it just cuts this all off. All right, now these, and scene cutaway plane. Where do we, plane color, render priority, which plane opacity? Visible. Clip lights, okay, is on. So let's now go back to our camera view and see. See, you can't see them because they're behind us chopping stuff. So let's try and render the scene. See if the scene is cutting stuff out. Hey, welcome Berlin, Ted. Welcome, Ted. We are working with this Viking village, and we're going to try and see if we can pare it down. And this isn't working. Install custom actions. What's this? Okay. We're not going to do that right now. Cutaway reset. Scene cutaway. Now that's what I use, the camera cutaway. I know I've used these before and they worked wonders, but now we are working with another perspective view. Now we are working with another. Okay. See, now it seems as though these two cutaway. Okay, I see what's happening. Perhaps this scene cutaway here is redundant because we've got these shaped as a V. So let's I think they're turned off. Like they don't. Let's go to right pane and the plane opacity. Let's turn it up so we can see them a little bit. Left pane, pane opacity. Now, my camera should be right about here. I see. This is why they don't have. Now, this stuff here should be gone. This is what I don't understand, is why it's not gone in this scene. Okay, let's go to the manual. Camera Doctor. Camera Cutaway, hide all. Okay, this is going to be really slow. It takes a moment to load all the pages into the PDF. Okay. Hide all. Hide or disable all can't. Okay, we don't want to do that. Reset. Reset all can't to be outside the view of your cameras. When you change the aspect, okay, is currently disabled. No. Okay, the camera cutaways can be a must cut and cut away objects in your camera view. Use the script to move the camera cutaways back outside the view. Okay. Camera quickly optimize your Iray rendering time with Camera Cutaway. Uses Iray section node planes to easily clip away objects outside the view of the camera, reducing the rendering time. Even better, cutaway planes move with the camera and will work with animations. Add cutaway planes. Okay, so Iray preview. Maybe they're not cutting them away. All right. Let's see about this. Let's go back to our camera view. It may just still not be cutting away enough. Okay, but let's go to Iray. See if it can at least show Iray. Okay. I don't think this is going to work. So, no, I'm still going to do this cutaway because I know this camera cutaway thing works. I just have to get it to work. Scene cutaway. Scene cutaway. We have camera cutaway, which should cut out the scene, okay? And this is the okay. Hide all. Camera that hides the cutaways. I think that just sets the what I'm doing, Ted, is I have this Viking village and it's very large. The scene is too large to render. So when I click render, the render fails. It won't even display in. Now, I have two graphics cards, so I go to my render settings here and go to advanced, and you see I have two 3090s and they're both set in SLI mode, but I'm turning one of them off just so that I can create this problem of this scene not loading, okay? Now, if I turn them both on, perhaps, or turn on the CPU, then it will load, but it will load really fast. It will take a long time to render with the CPU. So what I'm trying to do is use this product, it's called Scene Cutaway, to cut away parts of the scene. Okay, so we're gonna now stop this and we'll go back to our, okay, we're back in. Now we're going to select our camera, go back to here, and we're going to try this camera cutaway. Left and right, we're going to go Iray preview, accept. Okay, now this should just be cutting away everything in the scene outside of the camera purview. Let's see what happens when we do this. Does it render? It just may still have so much stuff left in the scene that it won't render. Okay. Nope, it won't. This won't render. Okay, so what if I changed my camera perspective? Let's just spin the camera around to some place where there's less. We got part of this house and part of this house. Let's spin it around, and I think those cutaway planes are supposed to move with my camera. This looks like there's a lot less in this scene. Let's try rendering here. Nope, that didn't work as well. So let's go back to this here. Use the camera cut, hide all scripts to hide, disable all camera cutaways in your scene. Select the camera, change the active. Okay, so there's another script which camera cutaway reset. Now let's try this. From my recollection, things are supposed to disappear in the scene, and they're not disappearing. So when I go to perspective view and I come down here, this should look like parts of this whole thing are just chopped right and gone. And it doesn't. So what's wrong here? Cutaway planes. Point at visible on. Surfaces. Okay, let's go to surfaces. Okay, these right plane. Plane opacity. Clip lights on. Render priority. Visible. Let's go back here. Okay. Camera Cutaway, reduce rendering time, but do not change the amount of GPU memory required. Cameras may change the lighting of your scene because of lights outside of the cutaway plane and objects outside the cutaway casting shadows. By turning the clip option on, your scene will render as if the cutaway does not exist, but rendering time will be optimized. To use. Okay, so this isn't going to work. Select a camera in your scene or change the active viewport to a camera. Start Camera Cutaway. Camera Cutaway will create all 4 cutaway planes, but will enable them based on the options you select. Each cutaway plane is created just outside the viewing area of the camera. If a cutaway plane is enabled, it will cut away all objects and lights in that direction. The top cutaway plane. All right, well, this isn't helpful. Scene Cutaway. Peer deep inside your scene with Scene Cutaway. Scene Cutaway sets up an Iray section plane that can be oriented to the scene. Select objects. So scene cutaways are awesome when you want to render inside a room but cannot easily orient the camera because of space. No worry about if an object has a wall that can be hidden. No more worrying that hiding objects will change the scene lighting either. Just use Scene Cutaway. As Scene Cutaway uses the current viewport as the camera orientation, know that you can run this script and make many different scene cutaways. However, only one should be visible at a time. This product is for Iray only. If clip lights is off, the lighting in your scene may change. To use, this object may use to specify local access to use for the scene. It also uses to set the default distance. Okay, I'm wondering if selected best help, if it does actually cuts out. Set Scene Cutaway. Dialogue. Camera Doctor. Orbit a camera around its parent. Camera Switcher. Explore all the cameras in your scene. Hide selected are all cameras in the scene. Camera frame selection. Camera show and scene. Show selected cameras. That's not what we want. Okay, we have a scene optimizer. That was a possibility, but I don't want to do that. That is really drastic. Quickly and easily set the camera focal. Okay, this is for that whole camera doctor kind of set. Sun. That's it. So no, this doesn't. I was sure that this cut out the. So we're going to try one more thing. We'll get rid of the cutaway planes, and we're going to try this Scene Cutaway. Clip lights. No, I don't think this is going to work. Offset. Iray preview, accept. Now, where is our scene cutaway plane? It's right there. Okay. Let's take a look at our camera view. Okay, there's our plane. Okay, we're going to rotate it. What would this be? Z rotate? No. Edit. X rotate. Yeah. Like this. Bring it back like this. See, I'm not seeing anything cut here. It's supposed to be cutting. Oh, you can only see it cut in Iray, I think. So let's see now. Where's our camera? Oh, we've got our camera here. Let's move our camera in front of this, like this. And then we'll take our perspective view, come down to this level a little bit, zoom out a bit. And where is our camera? There's our camera. So we're going to bring this out here. And this was Z rotate. I can't see what I'm doing. What Z rotate was it? Edit. Okay, X rotate. There we go. That's what we wanted to do. This is not going to work. So in order for it to cut all of that out, it would probably take a huge, like, chunk of time. It would have to deal with, like, the geometry on a... It makes it disappear from the scene, so it's not there, but... how that works, like how it speeds up rendering time, but it doesn't take and lower the geometry. That... Hello, we've got some spammer here. Thanks for the invitation, but sorry. Hide user from the channel. So, okay. There we go. Now back to here. Okay, so this doesn't work. So the only thing that's going to work, okay, is we take our camera here and we delete a few of these things. Delete this. Delete that, because they're not in the view. I don't think that was in the view. Let's see. No, it wasn't. That's not in the view. This isn't in the view. And there's a bunch of stuff here, like little pieces and that. We don't need these fences. Okay, there's a dock here. We don't need the dock. And we got this ladder here. Don't think we need this house here. We don't need this house. Okay, or this, or that, or this. Little butter churn, wood pile. Okay, now we go back to our camera view. See, but everything's still here. I may have deleted my house there. I did, I think, but that's okay. We'll just focus it more on this. Now if I hit this, it should render. We just actually removed geometry from the scene. Hello, Berlin Ted. Hello, hello. See if this renders. Yeah, it's rendering now. So that's the way you get it to render, is you just delete a bunch of stuff that's not in your... Oh, it didn't render. So there's still... I believe what's happening here... Perspective view is because... Well, let's just delete a few more of these things here. Some of these things, because there's one fence, that means that the textures are there. Even if you delete the object, there are still other objects that have that same texture. So you're getting rid of a little bit of geometry, and the geometry doesn't really it's not what takes up the space. It's the textures on the geometry. That's what takes up a ton of space. So, but if we get rid of a few more of these items, this scene is so gargantuan. And this is the only way to get this scene to work. Now what I wanted to do was like delete everything off of this scene except the ground. And you know, that's one possible way to get this scene to actually render, is to just delete the land. And that's going to be a possibility here, because we'll see. I plan on trying to kind of work with this scene and find out if I can. All right, now let's go back to our camera view and see if that's enough. I think I deleted the ground, but I'm not sure. I may have deleted the ground. If I did, it might be a good thing. There's a ton of geometry in the ground. Okay, that's fine. I will call you Ted. I will remember that, buddy. Thank you very much for Ted it is. Okay, so now this didn't work. Now I think I deleted the ground here, so let's delete the foliage and all of these pieces here. I did delete the ground. I got this to work with both of my graphics cards turned on, but with them turned off, it's not likely that I'm going to be able to get them to work. But it is likely that if I delete like all of these little items here, that I may be able to fit this longhouse and with a grass plane into a render on a single 3090. Now anybody with less than they do give you the houses separate, and they give you all of these items separately, and so you can bring them in and arrange them discreetly and possibly create some sort of Viking-esque kind of thing with a lower quality graphics card. I'm really lucky that I have two graphics cards, and I have Angus to thank. Angus, who helped me purchase my graphics cards. So I would be in a mess right now without his assistance, his support in this regard. So, okay, it looks like we have a, okay, this little house is not going to be in the scene, so we can get rid of that. And we're going to try and just do, I suppose I could have just deleted the whole scene and then just put the house in the thing and a few stands and stuff and just work with that. But let's see now. Let's try to render and see if this will render. You have an RTX 3070 Ti, and that, if I'm not mistaken, I think that has 11 gigs of video RAM, 10 gigs, something like that. Okay, this didn't work. Now I'm wondering if this is because I'm in an SLI mode and I turned off one of my graphics card. Because this should work. Now, what I'm going to do is delete this whole thing and just put, now see, there's all these other instances here and they're not really here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take the Viking Camp and we'll delete the whole Viking Camp. And let's get rid of this scene cutaway. It doesn't seem to be doing anything useful at all. But it does do something useful if you're in a tight spot. So now we're going to go back to default. And we're going to go get rid of this word cut up here. Yes, Angus is a has been a godsend. So he's been a very big help in my life. I wouldn't be where I am right now if he hadn't helped me in many, many, many ways. So he is my #1 supporter by far. Yeah, he's very helpful and he's helped me in many, many instances. So now we are looking for this Viking village right here, Viking camp. Everybody's calling it a Viking village. It's a Viking camp. Okay. Props. Okay, I think these are the actual houses. So we're going to take this long house. Okay. There it is, the longhouse. Let's bring that in. And Z, let's go Z and get it out of our way. Let's see if this thing will even X translate. Okay. Will this thing show up in Iray? If it does, then we got something going on. This is, so it's sitting there doing its thing. Let's try switching this to editor. Let's switch this to speed and see if that works better in speed. Okay. So this will be kind of interesting. Oh, yes, there is, Angus. You deserve many, many heartwarming thanks. You do. You do. Yes, and I am very, very, very indebted. One of these days, I'd like to be able to return the favor, if that ever becomes possible. Edit. We're going to create, let's create a filament draw mode. And we'll go into draw options. So it's just sitting there. I'm wondering if this will even load with... Now there's a possibility I could have some orphans. There's a couple of possibilities that maybe my graphics card doesn't like to render anything when it is in SLI mode. So that's a possibility. So, but I tend to think that's not the case. So I think these just have so many darned textures that it's ridiculous. So let's see what we have here. We're going to go into the filament. Let's go to filament because it's just sitting there going over and over and over. I have a feeling it's not going to look, it's not even going to render this house, this in. So we're going to go to filament mode. And then we're going to let the textures load. Why does my filament load look nice? It's usually blown right out. General, okay, filament, draw options. And I don't need to really, usually it's blown right out. Okay, so let's go now to Iray again and see what happens when we switch back to Iray. If the speed thing that there. Okay, so it's working in Iray. So it should render. So I rarely use filament, but there are some things that I have to say I love filament because it gets me out of certain pinches, and I'll tell you why, Ted. When you have an HDRI sky and you're trying to line the sun up in your scene so that it's like right exactly where you want it, and you have to try to do that in Iray mode, and it's so jerky trying to line the sun up. If you go into filament mode, it will show you your, not always, but it will often show you your HDRI. And so it will show you it in a kind of, it's not a perfect, but it shows you where the sun is and where all that. And so you can adjust the horizontal and vertical until you get your HDRI. Now this didn't render. Okay, it's showing it to me in Iray, but it wouldn't render. So that tells me that possibly there's something up with my graphics card. Okay, let's click on this and then let's look and see Control Shift Escape, and let's go to this and see what this one graphics card. Okay, this is saying that it's taking 47.8 gigs. 47.8 gigs. Okay, so maybe a problem here is because, okay, where is GPU link 1? Okay, yeah, see, this is right up to the tippy top. Okay, I may have missed this. It is rendering. So it is rendering. Now, if you look at this, this is some pretty high quality. Even though I don't have an actual sky here, it's rendering this one building. Now, there's a possibility that if with your graphics card, Ted, that it might actually, I will put a, okay, now this, we're in I'll put an HDRI into here and show you how useful filament can be. Now we go to, I rarely use filament, so I'm not disagreeing with you, Ted. I'm just saying that there are times when I absolutely love filament, and that's because it shows me my HDRI. It's the only real use that I've found that I can't, I just go to texture shaded mode. But let's put in a sky here. like this one has a sun in it. Now, you can see the sky in Iray, but when you try to manipulate the sky by going to your environment options, okay, and as you know, in Iray, you go to move the dome rotation, and it just sometimes can be real sluggish, and you just can't really see what it's doing. But when you go into filament mode, like this, now if I go into texture shaded mode, no sky. It doesn't show me the sky. So texture shaded mode doesn't show you your HDRI. But filament, it takes a moment, and you see down here it's converting that HDRI into something, probably a JPEG or something. But as soon as it gets done going across this little meter at the bottom, there's your sky. And watch how easily, when I go back to my environment options, watch how easily it moves. It just glides along. Dome rotation. Look at this. See, I can just set that sky right exactly where I want it. And it gives, and that's the same for the Z rotation. And I can find my sun. Okay, where's my sun? And X rotation. So I can find the part of the sky that I want to use. And say like, okay, well, let's look around now. Where is the sun? I think there's a sun here somewhere. It may be in behind here. So let's go up. There it is. There's our sun. So we bring it over here. X rotation. See how easy that is to just move that right where I want it. Dome rotation. Oops. Okay, so now we can go back to Iray. And now we have a sun in our scene. See, so this is very helpful. Now let's save this as Viking Camp. That was original. Okay. So now I'm going to make a ground here so that we have a nice little ground. Okay. So I'm going to tempt fate and see if I can use a ultra scenery ground. Ultra scenery, all files, ultra scenery creator. Now I have a camera in the scene, so this will work. So we want to set the altitude to 1 so that the ground will be completely flat. And one thing a lot of people don't know is when you go into this ecology, that it starts always on the grasslands, and you usually go down and look through. But if you go up, you have a bunch of stuff up in here as well. And that depends on if you bought the Britain things, but it always seems to start. So let's try this country Ford. And then we're going to build, and we're just going to get rid of the trees. Your trees always end up in your way, and it's better because, you're only going to have 10 or 15 trees in your camera view, or maybe 1 or 2. So just turn them off and add some trees into your scene. Okay, now we're going to say camera view so that it doesn't build grass outside the camera view. Okay, build scene. Now we may not be able to, this might just throw it over the memory. I may not be able to render this with this kind, and putting a Genesis 9 figure, probably I can forget that too. This is why it's important to have a couple of graphics cards in in, oh gosh, what is it called? To have them linked up together in SLI mode, yeah. I didn't get a lot of sleep this morning, and I got up early, and I've been going all ever since. I was up very late last night watching this awesome tutorial about a synthesizer that was like 3 hours long. And I just couldn't draw myself away from it. It was just, I love this. It's $4,000 synthesizer, and that's so, but it's nice to be able to just look at it, I guess. See how it works. I have things I can do to make music, and so I don't have to have that. But it's very nice. Okay, look what we have here now. So I think this ultra scenery is going to be a little bit high. So what I'm going to do is take my longhouse. Okay, this is done. Close. Take my longhouse. And we're going to bring the longhouse up. Okay, let's go into filament mode. I don't know what the hotkey is for filament mode. Now I'm going to have a bunch of flowers coming through the porch. So I'm going to have to bring the porch up high enough so the flowers don't, and hopefully it's not going to look like the longhouse is floating in the air. Okay, take me to filament mode. What is the hotkey for filament mode? It might be like 7 or something. It would be nice if they told you what it is here. Let's try Control 7. No, that's not it. Control 8. Control 6, 5, 4, 1. 9 is texture shaded. 8. So I don't see a hotkey for filament. No, I don't. Plus. So I would have to take maybe one of these hotkeys here and switch it. Let's go to filament mode. So it's easier to move this up. Now, okay, filament mode doesn't show me my plants. Okay, we're going to try that. Now let's go into Iray. And neither does texture shaded, so it's got to come up a little bit more, just a hint. So the plants aren't coming through, and they're still probably going to come through the stairs. That's not going to be avoidable, I don't think. But I think the plants in front of the stairs will hide it enough. Well, it would be nice if there was a little path in front of the... Okay. Now this may not go into Iray because Ultrascene may be just bringing it way again over top of my... So my what I was planning to do with this scene, that has pretty much ended. So I might as well go into my render settings and turn back on my CUDA cores, my other. Now that should give me the memory that I need for this to go into Iray. But we're going to take and let's optimize. We'll just set that to auto and let it do what it thinks it needs to do. Okay. Okay, let's go out of here. Let's go into texture shaded for a moment. Let's save this. that saved so quick. I think I wonder if these textures are like bitmaps or something, but I know that there are thousands of them. So I just know that the amount of textures, and when I look at this building, you can tell by looking at it that it really has a lot of detail in it. So okay, it's rendering, so that's a good sign. Let's see what now you see this looks okay. You can see they're coming up a little bit through the steps, but it's okay. I guess it's going to have to be okay. I don't think there's much I can do about that. Well, there is. I guess there's a way to use masks and mask things. And possibly I don't know, maybe, I think you have to use like shapes, and I could lay a shape down here and tell ultrascene not to, and that is something I have to learn how to do. So one of these days I will be doing oh, you have 8 gigs. Okay. Yeah, well that's not a shabby card. That's a pretty good card. So that is a really good card. So so this is a there, so it's done rendering. This is now what I'm going to do is we'll close this down. Smart content. Horse. We're going to look for a horse. Now let's do the reindeer. Attachment figure. Okay. Let's take our reindeer and bring him over here. Oh, I just think I just got him out of his skin. Okay, edit, undo. How did that happen? Reindeer. Reindeer. Edit, undo. Okay, let's put the reindeer in a group. Deer. Now maybe we can move it all together. No, what's wrong here? Edit. Perspective. Okay, reindeer, what's the problem? Why is your fur not sticking with you? Chest. Select all. No, that selected everything. Guide hairs. Antlers. Oh, okay. Somehow this stuff got thrown here. Let's put all of that into our deer thing. Alright, now we can move it all together. Okay, let's go back to our camera. And Z, bring the reindeer back here. Rotate him Y. Poses. Reindeer. That didn't work. Edit. Dear. This won't work either. No. Okay, I have an idea. Let's put all of that in the reindeer. There, I think that works. Okay, I didn't want to move this. It looks like his antlers are floating in the air. Okay, let's take these antlers and fit to reindeer. Okay, and these guide hairs. Let's try this. Fit to reindeer. I don't think they all did. I think just that one, the top one maybe. Fit to reindeer. Did this top one do it? Fit to reindeer. And guide hairs number 3. Fit to reindeer. So the last one should already be fit. Fit to reindeer. Okay. Now we should be able to take and select this reindeer and move him around. There we go. Now he's eating grass. Let's see what this looks like. Yes, Control Z is for undo, and I forget that all the time. Yes, Control Z is very, very helpful. It's instantaneous. Okay, we have a reindeer. We're going to bring this reindeer. Let's select the deer. Everything is now attached to the deer. Now what I'm going to do is something kind of cool here. Okay, our spammer is back. So we're gonna okay. We're gonna hide the users. Hide that particular user. Okay. I hate to do that, but okay, we're gonna go Z now. Okay, we're gonna go to our Z. We'll go Z and move this guy back a little bit like that. So he's in the scene X. Oh, he's going right through this little thing. Ow! Z. How about if we move you down here, over here, X, Z, or, oh, that didn't work. Z, move you back and over. That will hide some of our grass going through there. And then we can see his hooves and stuffs a little better. Maybe we got to bring him up some more. Yeah. And save this. Okay, now I want to light the front of this. Okay, I want to light the front of this, and I could use like a spotlight and light the whole thing. But I'm going to use a distant light instead. So I'm going to create a distant light. And then I'm going to come up here to the camera view and look through the distant light. And this is my distant light pointing at this. So I'm probably going to want to come at it from like this angle. And so when I select the distant light, it's pointing this way. Now I could come down at it a little bit more, but sometimes it's really nice to get that horizon, like sunset kind of look. So we're going to try that. See if it works. It could be so low that it's not even showing. It's like below the horizon. It's kind of like a optical effect here. So now we're going to go into Iray. We shouldn't see the light at all because it's too low, but we come down into this lumens here and we go to, say, 6 maybe. And I'm going to lower the temperature some. See, that lightened it up. But I'm going to give it that sunset kind of color. And we'll give it a little bit more. We'll go to a 9 maybe. 9. It's kind of contradictory to have like a light coming from one side and then have the sun. So let's go with a 5 before the 9. Let's get it really bright. Yes, that is what makes it really nice, is that you can look through the distant light and set your angle in your scene, and that's a really nice thing. Okay, now something I think is wrong because my camera. Now, I don't know if I'm going to put a spotlight in the scene just for the heck of it to see what happens. It should get darker. And maybe it won't because I have the, as soon as I put the spotlight, okay, that actually didn't do anything. I'm going to turn the spotlight off. But as soon as I put the distant light into the scene, okay, now I'm going to add a little bit of like fog in the scene. Now this sky is too bright, so I'm gonna move this sun out of the scene so that it doesn't look contradictory. So it's like, why is the sun right there if it's shining from behind? You know, so it's kind of got a contradiction here. So I'm gonna go into filament mode. And I'm going to move that sun a little bit. Now everything's bright in here. Now I can set my filament down, the draw options. I think it's this intensity scale. No, that's not it. Reset. Which one is it? ISO? Yeah, it's the ISO. You bring that down and it kind of makes filament usable. So now we're going to take this environment and take our sky dome rotation. I'm just going to rotate this so that I don't have the sun right there, okay? Now, I was thinking of using a different sky also altogether, but what I can do is take this sky that I have and just darken it a little bit. So let's go into Iray again. We're going to get rid of this word horse and tell you VDB. And okay, now our sun is gone. Is it exposed? I thought it was that one. It just worked. Okay, when I used the filament draw option. What was that? It worked okay. It was the ISO scale. When I lowered that, it made the light sort of go into the right ballpark. At least something so it's not all blown out. The ISO scale. It could be the scene light scale too. Maybe that works too. But the ISO worked. Whatever one works, it just take and get it so that it's not blown out looking. Now, so we're going to go into the environment options here. And I'm just going to take this intensity. And let's see, let's try 0.5. Okay, let's go to 0.2. And let's change the tint here to something a little bit, something yellow maybe. There we go. And then let's add ourselves some fog. Props. Okay. Let's take this and go to texture shaded mode, this fog. Let's go. I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, take me to my perspective view. Okay, Z, X. Go back to the camera view. Let's see what this looks like. We're going to select this smoke cube and go to surfaces. Parameters. Make it look like an old photograph or something. And then go to here and let's take the multiplier or the density multiplier and let's bring that down to like 3. And then let's take this so the fog isn't so strong. Let's take this distant light and make it a little more red. There we go. I think I'm going to push my fog back a little bit more. So we're going to go here to this 9. So it's behind the deer a little more. 9, control 9. Yep. We're going to push it this way. Let's see what that looks like in Iray now. I use this real fog in almost every scene that I make, outdoor scene and all, because it just this SY Real Fog, it's an amazing product. So we're going to go back to 9. I'm going to still push this fog back a little more so it's in behind my animal. I kind of like the fog, using the fog, because it softens the geometry. Yeah, I could put a male character in the scene. Let's see. I was thinking of a man on a horse, but that was my first thought. But I think that'll be my next scene. So, what if we take this house and move it back a little bit? So it's not like right there. House, longhouse. And over. Let's see what this does. Okay, I think this kind of works. Now something, you see the sun isn't hitting these flowers because it's so low. And this sun is obviously peeking up over. So we're going to go into filament mode and fix this sun in the back. Yeah, that would work. Let's see what we have here. Let's go to filament mode. I got to get this sun out of the scene. So okay, that's a good idea. We'll put him on the reindeer. Okay, now let's take this environment option. Now you see, you can see the sun, how important this is. Now we're going to go Y, I think, takes it down. No, that twists it. X. X will bring it X, and Z brings it down like that. So let's get that right out of the way. Let's take this longhouse and push it back into the field, way back here. It's kind of a shame to push it back so far with all those high quality textures on it. But there we go. Okay, now we're going to also take a look through our distant light. And yes, see, this is below our plane. How did that happen? What? There we go. Now let's go back to our camera view. Let's see what this looks like in Iray. We need some trees too. Maybe a tree over, a fir tree right here. Let's see what this looks like. There we go. Let's move this deer into this little grassy spot now that we got some room here. Texture shaded. Okay. Where's our deer? Maybe up here. Maybe we'll keep him closer because our figure that's going to be in the scene, we don't want him to. All right, let's find a figure. And I'm going to use all right, I'm thinking here something easy. Because everything fits all my Genesis 8 characters, I'm going to go probably with an 8-1 character. I think I'll use Bruce. Bruce here. Let's put Bruce into the scene. I'll have to make Bruce skinny. Default, all files, where's Bruce? Attachment, hair. Dirt. Where are you, Bruce? Actor. Okay. I don't have all of the. So he'll be riding him bareback. Because I don't have any kind of saddle. I do with the Daz Horse 2 or whatever, and I have saddles and bridles and all that stuff, but the Daz Horse 2, I think I can make into a deer, but not into a reindeer. So okay, and I'm having some thoughts here about this. So I think I've got to reposition things a little bit. So we'll see. We'll bring Bruce in. He's going to be... I'll have to put some pants on him. All right. Bruce is one of my favorite characters here. But you have to make him, you have to fix him. Yeah, you have to fix him. You have to fix Bruce because he's got problems that were built into him, unfortunately. Where I think he's in the scene, but he's hidden somewhere. Yeah, he's way over here. Okay, well, we'll just click on him and put some pants on him. First, some kind of, I think I want to put him like in cowboy stuff, you know, something maybe with a cowboy hat, and it might make him look a little bit, I don't know, maybe we'll see. Wardrobe. Let's put some clothes on him first, and then we'll put some pants on him, then fix his body. I gotta scratch my back. Yikes. Okay, here we go. Scratch my back. I wonder if this Viking suit here works with Genesis 8. That would be an interesting thing to see if that worked with Genesis 8. So, but first we're gonna find some underwear, something like that maybe. Underwear for Genesis 2 male, that would work for now. Let's see. Wardrobe. Let's put these on Bruce. And then we'll fix his body. Genesis 2 male. Full body. Okay. Bruce should have some pants now. Okay. What's really nice about this is that, you know, Bruce is going to be the right size for the antelope. It's like everything in this program is made to be the right size. Roughly, it's supposed to be. And that's what's really nice about this program. Now, what I'm thinking is I want to raise this up a tiny bit and bring my camera down towards the ground a little bit so that this reindeer, so that the reindeer is kind of in the sky a little bit like this. I'm not sure if this is going to work here, but we'll try this, and we're going to bring the reindeer over. I may have to move it all again and, figure something else out, but what if we rotate him around like he's going like this? And we bring now Bruce here over here. Now we got to fix Bruce's body. He's kind of a little bit overweight. Why rotate? Let's rotate him so we can see what we got here. And what I do with him to fix him up is I just get rid of part of his body like that. Okay. And then we're going to get rid of part of his head. Because let's look at him up close and see, and his eyes are a little bit kind of, and it's good that they do that. They give you an exaggerated features, almost caricature, okay? But what you have to do is you have to take the head and you have to kind of just bring it down some, okay? And suddenly Bruce becomes the most beautiful man in all of Dad's world. He's just the most beautiful. So let's put some hair on him. Some kind of hair. And he comes with hair, but that's not necessarily my favorite hair. And we can use the Genesis 8 hair that we have. I'm probably going to have to cut this hair. That's D4's hair. I may not be able to cut that hair because it's D4's hair. Let's see what we have. Let's just go with something because I'm thinking of putting a hat on him. So let's just go with some kind of short hair. I think I can, I can make this hair short. No, I just want to use the, let's see, something easy. Because if he's going to have a hat, it's all about effect. I forgot what the name of his hair is. The hair is that I used. Shaved. Shaved. Here it is. We'll try this one. Bruce, there you go. Some hair. And now we're going to take and bring you back by the reindeer. Let's take and move this back this way. Take Bruce. Zoom him back. Where is it? Bruce, male, parameters, Z, X, Z, X, okay, Y, Now, let's see if we can find a pose that will work. We're looking for something riding. So we're going to go into Files, Riding, Poses. I knew they were going to come up with cars. Okay, I can use Michael poses if I need to. Now this is it. That's the pose. So what I would do is like add this bone doctor here thing. Okay, turn limits off, I think I have to do. And then I have to take and add this bone minion. No, this is it. Which one is it? Alright, I think I have to find him here. Minion. Minion. Okay, for Genesis 4. Generation 4. For Genesis 8. I think 8 works. Genesis 8. Genesis 4 for Genesis 8 and 8.1. Okay, so let's try this for a male. So now we have this bone minion guy. We select this guy, bone minion, and now I can use this Michael pose here, which was right here. Where is it, Michael? I saw it a moment ago. It was a nice pose. Riding. I don't remember seeing them. I think I went past it. I must have. Okay, let's go here. Riding. Come on. I think it's right in here. I remember seeing this. Come on. Where are you? There it is. This one will work. So let's try this. Okay. Now we hide the bone minion. Select Michael, select Bruce, and put him on the horse. Y rotate. Down on the Z. There we go. Now let's take this, let's put the reindeer and Bruce into a group together. The deer and Bruce. Group. Okay, we're going to call this figures. No, let's call this Bruce and deer. Okay, now I can move them together, so we're going to rotate them. Let's turn this guy out a little bit like this. Now let's find some clothes for Bruce. Bruce. Here, back to products. We're done with the bone minion. How nice did that work, bone minion, huh? That's a nice little product because I have a ton of Michael 4 poses because I went and bought like all of these pose products for $1 each. They were like on sale. They're normally like $10 each. And they probably shouldn't be that price because they are so old. But they go on sale every once in a while, and I caught them on sale for $1 each. And so I bought about 50 pose collections for Michael and Victoria. Because sometimes I want my males to look a little bit like, you know, sexy, you know, and like sometimes I want that look, and sometimes a female pose goes really nice on a male. So it all depends. It just gives them a little bit more of a... So let's find some wardrobe now for Bruce. I think you're right about the no clothes. How about if we just give him some pants or something? We'll see. Let's see what we got. Let's see if this Genesis 9 will fit. Let's just try putting Genesis 9 clothes on Genesis. No, I don't think this will work on him. It's unsupported. Let's see. Let's try Genesis 8 female and see if it'll work. I don't think it will. At least it brought the clothes in. Okay, it says unsupported. I don't think this is going to work. There's what, 4 items of clothes. The boots, the pants, the shirt. Well, it looks like it tried to put that on him. Wouldn't that be weird if this worked? Unsupported. Genesis 8 female. Okay, let's try this. This is the Viking armor, which I noticed on the DAS forums that a lot of people complained about this Viking armor and thought, well, it doesn't look. Yeah, I don't know exactly what they said, but some people felt like, well, what is he, a warrior? What is he, you know? And not all Vikings were raiders. Some Vikings worked in, you know, they never went out on a raid at all. They were blacksmiths, and they were tradesmen and fishermen, and you know, not all Vikings would go out on raids. some of them had skills, and they were very desperately needed back at the homestead, the settlement, you know. I don't think this is going to work. So, but we'll see. I think this is the third item of clothing, and nothing's really fitting him yet. It looks like maybe the belt, the pants didn't work, and I don't think the shirt worked, or the vest, or any of these. So none of these are working. Genesis 8 female, except this is the last piece. Maybe the last piece of clothing. It's not going to work. I'll have to find something. So maybe just some pants on him. We'll see. Maybe in a hat. I don't know. No, see, they don't work. All right, we'll say Gems 8 female, but no, none of this is working. So we'll have to delete the clothes. No, it's not working. It's not working. This autofit takes so long. Unsupported. Genesis 8 female. There's obviously more clothing going on him than 4 items. I think this is the 5th or 6th thing. Maybe there's a belt. There's some accessories. They're not going to work. None of this is going to work. Okay, I think I've just about got my mouse back. So no, this doesn't work. Now there is a product that they sold. It converts Genesis 9 clothes to Genesis 8. I didn't buy it. I have so many Genesis 8 clothes that if I want to use Genesis 9 clothes, I don't know. It's probably very good. I don't like having folders and folders worth of converted clothes. I just don't like that idea. I'm going to wait until they fix auto. Okay, so we're going to get rid of these clothes. There's a vest, belt, boot, pants, arm guard, and shirt. Okay, so they're gone. Let's find just some pants and put some pants on him. Let's find some jeans. How about we go pants? I don't think that jeans are very Viking warrior pants. I don't think he can wear them. I think those are for Genesis 9, but let's see. Know what I need to do? No, they won't work. Let's try it though. Let's say Genesis 3 male. What I'll do is filter the context so that it will only show pants that work with him. Yeah. Well, you think exactly like I do, Ted, because I have fans on my Flock of Angels channel, and they expect me to they want to see, you know, males in beautiful situations, as scantily dressed as possible, so so that they show off their body. And let's try these pants, see if they work. Pants and fur. Okay, and Boots. Boots. I want some kind of just light boots, not like boots that come all the way up. Soldier boots. Let's give him some soldier boots. Bruce, where's Bruce? Soldier boots. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Let's go into Iray. Why has he got what? Oh, he's got some kind of overlay on his head. Oh, that's the shaved hair. That's an overlay. Okay, we got a problem with our grass. We're going to have to bring that back into Iray. This is coming out nice now. So I think this is coming out nice. So let's take our grass back into Iray and get it to resituate the grass. Not into Iray, into ultra scenery. So we're going to go back into our texture shaded mode. Let's select our grass plane. That's why I didn't move. That's why I moved the house instead of the grass. Ultra scene, boots, let's get rid of that. Products, default, ultra. Well, it's not letting me select that, so we have to turn this off. Ultra scenery. Okay, we're going to bring that back in, and it should remember all of those settings. So we just have to come here and click build again, rebuild. And it should resituate the grass in the camera view, if everything is correct. That's why I moved the building up instead of the grass up, so I could come back in here and possibly repopulate the grass. I'm not sure I like the sky. I think I want something more dramatic in the sky, like an orange sky or something. I think this needs a midnight sun. Okay, you're gonna let me click on you? All right, close. Now let's see if the grass is right. Did it fix the grass? Yes, it did. And it's perfect the way I want it. It gives him a little... Okay. So we're looking at this in a little picture, but this is going to be, you know, rendered at least like full screen, like this kind of thing. It's going to be a large picture here. Now, we're going to go into here. We're going to take our smoke cube and push that back again a little bit. Let's take our camera. Since the camera is right where I want it, I'm going to take and click and say edit, object, lock, camera. Okay, camera can't be moved. Now we're going to go into our fog here. We're going to go to our perspective view. Where is our fog? Z. Oh, edit, undo. Let's go to there. There we go. Now we're going to move this fog back a little bit more. Let's see what happens here. Back to our camera view. Let's see. I just don't want the fog in front of them. I could lower the fog's density, but I kind of want it dense. I just don't want it in front of them. Now it's a little bit in front of them, but it's not that bad. Now, I'm wondering if I need higher fog, like if this fog is just not high enough. So we're going to just delete the fog. We're going to go back out here and look at some of these other fog options, which would be VDB is our keyword. And we're going to try a higher fog. Let's go into props, Big Falls. Let's try that. I think I have another fog down here that I like. Well, this one's not too bad too, but this one's not bad as well. But all right, we have another fog. You can't see it, but it's here and here, and we're going to drop that down. There's our fog thing. Now we're going to go to our perspective view and see where this fog is. Oh, I have to select this. Now it tells me where it is. We're going to bring the fog back like this, like this, like this. Now if you look at, okay, see, this actually is what I want right here, this spindle fog. Because you see, look at the height of him compared to that. That's what I want. All right, this is what I want. Okay, that's here. Now we're going to put, see, because he's in front of it, you see? And so it tells us kind of what to expect from this fog. And so, okay, let's see what that looks like. Okay, we got to get to our camera view. Let's see what we've got here. It's going to be very pronounced because it's, yeah. But this is what I want here. It's higher. Okay, and now we can take this fog and thin it out a little bit. 9. Bring it back a little bit more. Now let's bring it down here. 1, 2, the smoke cube, surfaces, multiplier. Let's bring it down to 3. Okay, now let's see what this looks like. Okay, that's too much, so we're going to bring it down to... See, my color schemes, my lighting, none of this seems right in this picture yet, so I'm just going to get it to roughly... So I'm going to go this 0.8. Okay, see that? I kind of like. See, I like this better than the depth of field effect, okay? I like it. It softens the distance kind of thing. Let's bring it down to 0.5. I'm thinking I might like this fog better, this scattered fog. It won't have as many of these tendrils coming up. So let's try getting rid of this fog. Let's try this. I've never used this scattered fog. Okay. see what this looks like. Wow, this is a nice, like, up front effect. If I could just copy this fog and throw another copy of it in back, we'd have like the best of both worlds here. Let's do that. So we're going to go 9. Let's take this fog, scattered fog, edit, duplicate, node hierarchy. Now we're going to take fog 2 and we're going to go to our perspective view. Move this in back. Let's see what that looks like. Back to the camera view. 0. Let's check this out in Iray. Okay. We can take off his underwear. The briefs. Okay, that kind of works. I think I want to raise this up a little bit. We're going to raise that up. And then we're going to go back to here. And then we're going to drop this down. This. That. Take the fog here. We're going to try that same thing. What's a 0.5? Where are you? Up. Okay, where is it? Alright, I think I've got one more to go. No, okay, fog, square, cube. Okay, we've got to go out to 9. I can't see. Okay, this has got to come over this way more. And back more. Now where is our surfaces? Cut out. This isn't the right thing. All right. Okay, we're going to go to 0.5. I don't know why that's got that weird. They're like reversed, but as long as it works, I guess it's okay. Okay. Let's take I'm going to save this. Save as. Scene. Viking Camp 1. I'm going to have to do with something with his hand. He looks like he's holding the reins, and he's not. So that's got to be fixed. Okay, now. But we'll work on that in a little bit. I wonder what happened if I take this scattered fog here and just scale it a little bit. Make it bigger. A little higher. Okay. Let's go back to Iray and see what I just did. Yeah, that gave me the blur of along the horizon that I wanted. This little bit of blur. Okay, now what we're going to do, save this again, and now I'm going to take and mess with the, okay, now the front fog, this one here, this cube surface, I'm going to dull this one out a little bit. Surface, okay, here it is. Cube, multiplier, we're going to go down to 10 on that. It's just a little too blurry. In front. Yeah, that's enough just to give it a little bit of distortion. So now we save this again. And now we're going to mess with the sky. I can always go back to the previous sky with that previous 9. Okay, I'm going to bring this house up a little bit. Raise that up a little bit. Okay. And now we're going to go back. What was the other thing I wanted to do? The sky. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this environment option and go to environment here, and I'm going to take backdrop. I'm going to create a backdrop. Then we're going to go here, we're going to browse. And I'm going to go to this folder that I have here, HDRI, and I'm going to go to the JPEG folder. Let's see what's here. How about something like this? You know, this. Let's see what this looks like. Oh. There we go. There it is. What if we take that background? Now we just darken it here. We just take this and darken it a little bit. Like that. Take some of that. It's too blown out a little bit. Okay, let's fix his hand. We'll just lay it on his leg. Okay, let's go to the perspective view. Let's go back to our scene. Let's click on Bruce, the deer, one or the other. Okay. He's got his underwear showing through his pants. So let's get rid of that. Briefs. Okay, there's that. Let's move his arm back. Front, back. Okay. Fingers. Twist. Save this. Now I think I brought his arm way up, but maybe that's what we need. I don't know. Let's see what it looks like in Iray. Okay, let's unclick him and see what's up with this. I think I brought his arm up too far. Yeah, I think I did. So let's go out of here. See what we've got here. Go to our perspective view. Bend. I don't think that looks natural. Twist. Okay, that looks better. Now save this. Fir tree. Where's our fir tree perspective? Fir. That's not big enough. Tree. Let's try something weird like this. X. Let's see what that does. No, it's just too messy. The tree's too messy. I gotta find something a little bit more. Maybe it doesn't have to be a fir. Maybe it can be some kind of oak tree or something. Perspective, tree. Z X. I think that works. That tree looks like it's... I'm wondering if it's Iray. I'm quite sure it is. I think that's a prop for... It's just got like little dots all over it. Those will probably go away. Now this backdrop here, I'm wondering if it would look better with a tint. So let's take and go here for a moment till I get into my environment option here, and then let's go back to Iray. See what we have for a tint. Maybe an orange tint. That looks warmer. Okay, now I think maybe our guy here needs some hair on his chest. And maybe some hair on his face. Let's see, just to add a little bit of realism to his looks. Oh, I wonder, oh, I can't use those. Those are for, unfortunately, they're for our Genesis 9 guys. Okay, back to the scene. Let's click on Bruce. I'm glad I used Bruce. Bruce is a beautiful, beautiful man. So let's see, let's go into our default hair, body. Oh, we're going to go here to this one, hair. Get rid of VDB. Let's click on this, body. Okay, this Mateo. This is an easy one, I think. Default. Makes it easy. Let's say body hair Geoshell. Okay, here it is. Did that work? Let's see if it's there. No. Shaved hair, male. I think that's it. No, that's his hair. Let's try this again. No, those are the materials. Okay, those are materials. We have to put the attachment on. 8.1 attachment. There it is. Okay, that gave us some color there. And now let's go with his face. Let's use a boss. Our beard boss. Where is that? Shape. I think that's the shape, the default shape. This is the base hair, yeah. Okay, and now let's take that hair and just soften it a little bit. Take it down. Where is it? Beard boss. And we're going to take this here, shorter. Let's get up close to his face and see what we're doing here. Okay. Shorter. Short burns. And let's give it some color. There we go. And let's give him a little bit of a simple mustache. Just to give him a little color on his face. Okay, let's see what that looks like. I think this is it. Unless we're going to put a kitty cat on the front porch or something, I think this is going to do it. I think one animal is enough. There we go. Yes, I picked up the Viking bundle, the mega bundle, and it was expensive for the whole bundle, but they gave you all those free extra things, and if you read all the stuff, you got all those extra items and everything. The thing is, you know, on one hand, I'm very like, I want to use the Genesis 9 figures, but then, you know, it's just like I've got these Genesis 8 figures that are so much better. I think he's got to sit a little further up on the horse. So I haven't worked with Ivar yet. I do have him. Okay, we're going to go to this. I'm wondering if I move him ahead just a little bit on the horse, on this, like there maybe. Now he's probably not looking at us. Yeah, the Ivar bundle is very nice, and especially with the tattoos and things like that come along with it. So, Vikings galore. I have my problems with the bundle. I had them when I bought it. There's certain things, but I'm not going to voice the negativity about it. I wish somebody would ask me, you know, at Daz would ask me what do you really think of the bundle, you know, instead of just going out and, you know, blabbing it all over everywhere. But there are some I have some gripes about the bundle. Okay, this is supposed to be Bruce, not 9. Okay, I think he's still got to go back a little bit. So yeah, but overall, I mean, I liked it enough that I purchased it, and it's going to put me in the poorhouse like forever. So, but yeah, I think that's good right there. Because he's got to sit back. If the reindeer puts his head up, he's going to like poke his eyes out with those antlers. I don't know how Santa does it. Yes, it does have some good beards. I wish the beards were a little more editable, but I haven't really dug down into them to see what kind of hair they're made of. Because sometimes you go into the surfaces and you find out you can clump them, you can do all of that stuff. So I'll be working with those beards and finding out more. You have to dig down, and you can't just go by the morphs. You have to go and dig down into the surfaces and find out about clumping and all these things, because the morphs are pretty much things that were made from the surfaces, and when you dig down into the surfaces, you'll find you can do a lot of stuff with them. So this is a very good thing. I mean, so that's something that to consider. I think this tree's got to be moved. It's interfering with this thing here. Let's select the tree. All right, where's the tree? Tree, okay. I'm going to just tuck it in behind here a little bit more. Let's see if that works. Now let's take this deer. And what if we pull you guys back a little bit? Like that. Take this house and turn it. Let's see what we got here. Well, thank you, Ted. That's very nice of you to say that. Very nice. I love working in DAZ. I love working with 3D. It's something I just love to do. I love making music. I like working with videos. So these are things I love playing games. So I have a lot of things that I love to do, and they make my life, enrich my life. Now this doesn't look like it's bothering with that tree as much. So I'm very happy with that. Now I'm wondering if I make that environment sky a little more intensely orange, like almost unreal orange. I can always undo it. I can always Control Z it. Let's see what happens when it goes really orange. How about if we make it more to the red, like the midnight sun kind of red? It looks very kind of fallish. Let's bring it over towards the red a little bit. No, I think that just separates it too much from the ground. So I think that's about as orange as I can make it. Undo background. It just destroys something there. What if I undo it again? I think the other one seemed to fit more. It looked more natural. Yeah, I'm not sure I can put streaky clouds in. Maybe I could put some I don't think they're going to show up right if I put them in. Because these trees, this is a background image, see? So we're seeing like an image here that I've laid as a backdrop. And I'm not sure how I could really integrate clouds and have them really show up here. It does look like the skies, but I don't know. The skies, it's got a mystical quality, an almost kind of lonesome quality to the sky, an emptiness that's kind of I kind of like about it. So I think he's done. This is an image. So let's Let's look at our render settings. General. Let's put this up to, let's render it very large. I can play with the sky some more. So let's file, save as, scene. This is called Viking Camp. This would be 2. Okay, let's see this. Viking Camp 2. All right, so we can play with the sky a little more. Let's see. Okay, these are JPEGs. Oh, I put a JPEG in there. I'm supposed to put a that's not supposed to have a JPEG in there. Let's see what this looks like. Let's just see what it looks like. Oh, it's got like a futuristic city there. I don't know that that works. Browse. Let's see what we got. We got to wait until it catches up on some of these images. Autumn ground. I think I'm in Iray. It looks like I have another window. Oh, it might be this window that's open. I think it'll let me do anything until I pick something here. These are JPEGs. So what I do is I find something I like for the JPEG and then replace it with a very high quality. That's like a Mars sky. Let's see what this image looks like. This is called DTEC. Browse. What's it called? Okay, cancel. All right, let's go into this mode. Maybe I can do more when it's not an Iray. Okay. DTEC. All right, let's go here. Economy Sky 10. Okay. Economy Sky 10. Where is it? There. This is the very high resolution sky. Okay, let's go into 0. These show up because they're backgrounds. They're backdrops. There we go. So what do you think of that, Ted? What do you think of that sky? Now we could take this color here and just make it white again. See what that looks like. White. Yeah, see, I think that's a little too bright. So edit, undo. Yeah, I think I'm going to put some mountains there. Let's put in some mountains that are kind of low. So let's go here to Z to 9. Because this isn't like the Old West. It's more like fjordy Norway kind of place. So it's got to have some mountains in the background. They can be low. They only have to go up about that high, but there should be some kind of mountains there. Now, so let's go here and try using this. What's it called? Terradome. Terra. Control alternate minus. Let's bring this down a little bit. Terra. Where is it? I just saw it. Terradome. Where is Terradome? You ever used Terradome, Ted? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Have you ever used Terradome? Have you ever? Let's see. Terradome is pretty cool. We got an A and a B field. Okay, we want the B zone. That's the far away one. The mountainous one. Okay. Have you ever used Terradome? Yeah, well, I don't think you'd have a reindeer with a longhouse in West Texas. I used to live in Dallas. Okay, now here's my Terradome field. This is what makes Terradome really cool, is we can take shaping. Well, this is what's cool about Terradome. Check this out. See this flat plane here in the back? Well, what I can do is I can make canyons. Okay, well, maybe we don't want canyons. Let's see. Hills. Or I can make, okay, I'm going to lower that down. So we're going to go here to parameters, Y translate, and move it down, okay? And so now we've got this Terradome here. shaping, we can make mountain ranges. We can make or rocky hills, rough terrain. We've got Grand Mesa. And then I can take this whole thing and move it down if I want. Y translate. And then I can take 0. And we can put some of these textures on here. You have every kind of mountain range. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that sub D is turned on. Sub D level. There, that smoothens them out just so they don't have like really weird. And then we take and add some kind of texture to them. Let's go into 9 so I can scroll. It's not letting me do. Okay, snake charmer. That's a set. I don't think that's a texture. Here we go. These are some materials. Oh, that doesn't look right. What about this? Here we go. Let's see what this looks like. They're supposed to be fjords. I've been to New Mexico too. I love New Mexico. I used to live in Arizona too. In Tucson, just briefly though, but I've been there. I've driven through New Mexico. New Mexico is both Tucson and New Mexico. They are very... There we go. That looks pretty cool. All right, well, very good. I think we've got something going on here. Let's play around with some of these textures. Let's see what that is. 2RB zone. Dry. Now I think we need some foliage. That's something that looks too grassy. I think this one's going to be nice. It's going to have some yellowish green. How about some snow? I think that's the sky. I don't think I wanted to do that. No. See, it doesn't change the sky in the back because that's a backdrop. Now I could have turned the sky off, and then we would have just had the backdrop and our distant light. Let's see what else we have here. Maybe something with snow. What's this snake charmer? Oh, these are sets. Okay. This is moving so slow. I think if I turn off my house for a while, I might be able to work a little faster here. Okay. Turn off the ground. Let's see. Where's our ultrascene? Okay, let's see what this looks like. Come back, Iray. There we go. Let's see, scrub. I don't know why it's all dotty now. Oh, we didn't want to put that on the B zone. No, that's giving. All right, how about this? Oh, that's a cumulus sky. No, I don't care for that either. I think I like this one here. But I'm going to change the zone here. Let's mess with this shaping, okay? The mesa. Let's mess with the sky here. I think I'd like to have some peaks instead of like a big long rill. Rugged peaks. Come back. Come back. Come back. All right, I think there we are, finally back in. Now I can't see my, oh, because I took the Mesa Grand down. Let's go to parameters. Let's move this up a little bit. Oh, that's rotate. Why? Now let's go back here to shaping. What are these rugged peaks? Let's see what this looks like with everything turned back on. Come on. That's kind of nice. I think we're ready to do a render. I think that's kind of like, it gives us that mountainous, it kind of looks like a fjord a little bit kind of thing. So it's the mountainous look. So let's go now into render settings. See what we have here. See if this can be rendered. That's the question. We're going to look for progressive render. We're going to go to maximum samples, maximum time. Now we're going to turn off render quality, so it'll just keep on rendering. And then go to general. Turn off this parameter settings, use limits, turn that off, accept. And then we're going to go here to custom. Render it very large, if it will. Save this. Okay, so I'm ready to do a render. Okay. So let's render. This is going to be very, very large. A very large render. It may not render. I think it will, but it's hard to say. All those little hairs on the, and I don't think the reindeer's hair is actually shows until you actually render the image. So he's going to have hair on the reindeer. It should. So I was thinking of populating some little teeny tiny trees all over that mountain in the background. But nah. I could have used ultra scatter and scattered a bunch of trees along it. Little teeny tiny trees to make it look like it's far away. Then I could have only scattered them up so high. But and it would have only scattered them in the camera view, so that would have kept the scattering down to some degree. Where's my render? I don't think it's going to render. Let's see what happened. Oh, it's still trying. Sometimes it sits at that retrieving lens data. Oh, there's our iteration number 1, so it's rendering. Great. Awesome. Let's see if we can render. Come on. There's our render. It's rendering. Now I think I used, yes, the DTH. I did switch it to with the actual sky. It's not very high quality sky, but we're looking at this. This is gigantic right now. This is 13,000 by like 12,000, 11,000 something pixels. So it's very, 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 when we get down, and still this looks pretty good. So look at how nice this looks. It shows you all the detail in this. The only way to see the real detail in your stuff is to render it as large as you can. 13,000 is the largest you would use it for anything. Like, I don't think it's probably big enough for a billboard sign, but it would look a little grainy, but it would still look pretty good on a billboard sign. Yeah, but it's big enough for a wall tapestry or a. Now look at the hair on look at the hair we got here. I told you there was going to be some hair on this. So he's going to be hair wildebeest. And he's got some hair too. I don't think his chest hair is showing up a little bit, but not much. There's enough there. I'm not going to worry about that. He looks pretty good. His eyebrows look good. He's got, I think I overdid it on his sideburns, but it's okay. It's not bad. Yeah, that is Bruce. Bruce is beautiful. So, yeah, Bruce is very beautiful. So we're just going to now look at what we've got in the background here. Now, because I cranked up the sub D, we don't have big, it's all mellowed and smooth, okay? If you don't crank up the sub D, the Terradome 3, you don't want to buy Terradome 2. It's just outdated. It's something you'll never use. You want to, and I don't believe Terradome 2 is Iray. So don't get confused with the Terradome products. Just buy the Terradome 3, okay? And and this is Terradome. It looks pretty damn good. You know, this is fair. We're looking at this really up close, and look at the it kind of looks pretty. It doesn't look all completely like what would you call it? Digitized, you know. It looks like some kind of biological biomass. So it's really nice. This almost looks finer than the texture on his antlers. So on this this looks a little bit kind of blurry, and this looks sharp. So that's how nice Terradome 3 is. So it's not perfect. There are better mountains, but when you consider that you can take the Terradome mountain and shape it into whatever you want, that's huge. And then you can take that mountain and you can use ultra scatter and scatter leaves and grass and anything you want on it. So yeah, Terradome is really nice. And then this house here,